Hi guys. So the fisherman I'm currently breaking up from has made the mistake of leaving his t-shirt and cigarettes in my house. So I decided to have a little fun. Yeah, but my no bullshit mode actually doesn't just extend to my relationships. It also extends to the state of the world. So in this video, I want to talk to you about two things. One, the age of the personal digital assistant is upon us. And two, let's get to that later now. So, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Agnes and I am an Austrian and hopefully soon to be Brazilian writer, artist, tech co-founder and also digital autonomy activist. I've been following the developments in the tech world with great interest and I think there's something we really need to talk about. As most of you probably know, the release of Chat GPT has sent shockwaves through the technology world and beyond. And for those of you who've been kind of living under a rock and don't know what Chat GPT is, so it's basically a very powerful large language learning model. I know people like to call it AI, but technically that's not what it is. And it basically writes and brainstorms ideas and does kind of research like a human. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste my time explaining what Chat GPT is. If you're curious and don't know, just go and test it out, it's free. Well, as free as you'll be paying for it with your data, right? But it's free. So let's move on to the interesting part. Now, the emergence of ChatGPT and other crazy tools that are starting to come out now are just the beginning of what's going to be a huge wave of transformation in humanity and in how we use technology. And of course, it's going to have implications for almost all areas of life. So brace yourselves. Now, it's pretty funny because I've been writing for an entrepreneurship podcast for quite a while, and the thing that's been coming out of that for me is that many companies and startup founders actually say this. They say it's no longer about the question of what can you build, what technology can you create. The question is actually what technology should you build, like what technology do people actually want to use, right? But let's take it even one step further. So in my opinion at least, it's not even the question of where this next technological wave is going to take us. For example, me and Mark, my co-founder, we believe that very soon we'll all be having digital assistants where we literally just have a computer that we talk to the same we would to a human and who just does like everything for us. I really believe this and we're actually developing one, so you can check that out if you want. But the even deeper and more important question is, it's not about what can be built. It's not about how long is it going to take. It's not about which company is going to make the best one. The question is, who is going to control that technology? Who is going to control the data that is supplied to it by its users? And who is going to control what the users receive when they ask a question, for example? So, ever since the launch of ChatGPT, there has been a lot of drama going on in the news about things like AI is going to kill us all and it's going to take our jobs and so on. And while I do believe it's important to think about the effects that different technological innovations have in our lives, there is again the more deeper question and the more urgent question of who owns this technology. Now, the case of ChatGPT is actually a very interesting one because the tool was actually created by a company called OpenAI, right? Which was supposed to be open source and non-profit. At least that's what Elon Musk, one of its early investors, said on Twitter. But I don't know how much we can trust Elon Musk either. The point I'm trying to make is a different one though. So in 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion into OpenAI. Long story short, the company is no longer open source, it's definitely no longer non-profit, and it's essentially controlled by Microsoft. But of course, Microsoft is not the only company in the mix. Alphabet, formerly Google, Meta, formerly Facebook, Amazon, and also many other bigger and smaller companies in the tech sphere have announced that they're going to be creating competitor versions or have already put something like that out. Now, the question I want to leave you is actually the following one. So, in my view, it doesn't actually really matter if the next technological revolution comes to be dominated by Microsoft or Amazon or some new company that's going to emerge as part of this huge wave that's going on for humanity. I think the deeper question we need to start thinking about is, do we really want the future of our technological world to be controlled by profit-driven companies? Or do we want to, for example, create a future that's more decentralized, that's open source, where the people can actually see, for example, the algorithms that are building and creating our sense of the world, our sense of reality, right? Because the real question under all this is, it's not even about who controls this next technological tool, it's about who controls our reality. So, what I'd like you to leave with is this. The future is no longer knocking on our door. It's already sitting on our sofa, drinking its favorite beer and watching Netflix. But the question I want you to ask yourself isn't, what is this future going to look like? The question you should be asking is, who is going to own it?